Hey guys, it's Marisol and welcome back to Bookverse. So this week I'm going to be doing the top 5 Wednesday video by myself, and this week's topic is books you weren't expecting to like but did. And again, this is a group anyone can join. I'll link down below the Goodreads group link, and I'll also link Lainey's channel, and she's the one that started this tag. So let's get started. Alright, so coming in at number 5 for me is Confessions of a Shopaholic, which is the first book in the Shopaholic series written by Sophie Kinsella. And I watched the movie a really long time ago, and it was okay. It was like a nice movie, and I picked this up because I found out one of the latest book in the series is coming out, and I wasn't expecting to like it that much because I read reviews saying it wasn't that great. And I can understand why people get frustrated with the main character, Becky, because I did find her very frustrating at times, and her poor judgment and bad decision making, it is very frustrating. But overall, it's just like a cute, funny story. You know, you can associate it with chick lit. But overall, I like this book. So I think I gave it a 4 out of 5. I'll link my Goodreads down below, and you guys can check out my opinion of the book. Go more in detail there. But yes. And then moving on to my number 4. It's The Summoning by Kelly Armstrong. Kelly Armstrong is one of my top 5 favorite authors. I really love her. I found her because of the Otherworld series, which I've talked about before. My first book is Bidden. And then this one is the YA book. You know, and it's the first book in the, I believe it's called The Darkest Powers. And I wasn't sure I would like it because at the time I wasn't really reading YA anymore. But I loved her writing and I wanted to check this out. And it does have to do with like supernatural, the main character, you know. They're at a boarding school, they're all kids that have superpowers, there's necromancers, psychics. But I actually surprisingly ended up liking it. Didn't really freak me out, like I said. I'm not huge into reading like scary stuff, but it wasn't really scary, and it was overall very good, and I do like the main character, so recommend that too. And then my number 3 book that I wasn't expecting to like but really did is Anna and the French Kiss. This is the first contemporary book I ever read. You know, Stephanie Perkins, I think she just blows it out of the water. Like, I did my review. I love all 3 books. They're one of my favorites, but because I had never read contemporary or that, you know, style of being in high school and falling in love and all that, I wasn't sure I would like it. But like I said, I found out about it through Ariel Bissett's channel, so I decided to pick it up, and I read this in a day. That's how good it was. I could not put it down. I really love this book. So yeah, I'm really glad I picked it up. And then my number 2 book, I actually don't have a hard copy of it because I have it on my Nook, but I got a picture. I don't know if you guys could see it. It's called The Darkest Hour by Maya Banks. And it's the first book in the KGI series. And this is a romance book. And it's about, well, the first book, it's one of the main brothers. They're all soldiers, military. They do rescue missions that people wouldn't usually take up or that the government can't do. They have their own operation. And the first book centers on one of the brothers whose wife died. But then the story progresses, you find out a lot of secrets, you find out a lot of stuff, and there's a lot more books in the series, and each book focuses on one brother, but you still get to see the characters that you fell in love with before. And when I picked this up, I wasn't sure. It's one of the first romance novels I picked up. I really love Maya Banks now. I love this series. I have all the books. I would recommend it to anyone. It does have adult themes. Like I said, it is romance. But in my opinion, it's really, really good. And then my number one book, which I definitely was not expecting to like, is Crime and Punishment. I had to read this for high school in one of my AP English classes, and I've never really liked the books that I had to read because of school. So when I was told I had to read this, I don't know, it just didn't sound that great to me. It was an obligation read for school. I never really liked any of the books they made me read, and so I wasn't expecting to like it. But man, this is one of my favorite books. It's written by I can't pronounce his name, Fyodor Dostoevsky. It's supposed to be Russian. So this book is really amazing. It's called Crime and Punishment. It's about a main character, Raskolnikov. I'm probably not gonna name his name properly, like pronounce it properly, so sorry about that, but Raskolnikov, I believe is how you say it. And pretty much he has this idea in his mind that there's two types of people in the world. There's ordinary people, and then there's extraordinary people, and extraordinary people could pretty much do whatever they want and get away with it. So this is a story of how he commits a crime, obviously crime, and just to prove that he can get away with it. And so it's pretty much, it starts out with how he has planned this crime and how he commits this crime and everything that happens as a result of what he has done. And I thought some of the concepts in this book were really great. Then, you know, his relationship, the reason he did what he did and who he chose to do it to, his relationship with his best friend, people that he meets along the way on his journey, and then just how, well, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but just, you know, the punishment part of it, it's really interesting. I would highly recommend it. I know some people have harder times. Like I said, I was expecting to have a hard time because it was required for my school reading, but I would really highly recommend that if you haven't read this book, you should pick it up and read it, because it's one of my favorites now. Obviously, it made my number one. But yeah, that's all of them, you guys. So again, like I said, this week's top 5 Wednesday topic was, you know, top 5 books that you didn't expect to like but did love. And again, I will link Lainey's channel down below, and also the Goodreads link down below if you guys want to check out anyone else's video. And then hope you like this video, and if you want to share your top 5 with me, just leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to hear it. Or if you've read any of the books I mentioned, let me know your thoughts and takes on them. And hope to see you soon. Bye!